Are you approved for an FHA loan? I'm about to share the truth about FHA loans, why some agents don't like to work with them, don't know how to work with them, and can't seem to help their buyers get an accepted offer using an FHA loan. You ready? Let's go. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Martin, real estate agent, coach, investor. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that very much. Hit the notification bell and make sure you check out some other videos on this channel. So you're pre-approved. Congratulations. Being pre-approved, that's an accomplishment. And it may be that you only are pre-approved for an FHA loan for a variety of reasons. An FHA loan is basically a loan that is going to be a low down payment loan. So you're going to have to put up 3.5% down on your purchase. So 3.5% down purchasing a property can be a huge value because you're not going to have to come up with 5, 10, 20% down. It's just 3.5% down you have to come up with. For some people that don't know about FHA loans, they hear them and they think that this is a low income type of purchase, and it's really not, because FHA loans, you can purchase a single family all the way up to $770,000 using an FHA loan. If it's a two family, you can purchase something over $986,000 using an FHA loan. In a three family, you can purchase something just under $1.2 million utilizing an FHA loan. In a 4-unit, all the way up to just under $1.5 million for a 4-unit. So definitely not just smaller price point properties. These are properties that if you're in whatever area, you should be able to find something that is within the FHA guideline limits. So because this is a low down payment loan, you have to understand from the perspective of the bank loaning on this, right? They're not going to want you to buy something that needs a ton of work, because they're actually owners in the property too, right? They own 96.5% of the property. You're only invested 3.5% on this. So they have stake in this. So they're going to have some additional criteria that you're going to need to meet, or the property's going to need to meet more than anything else. They're going to be looking for things like broken glass. They're going to be looking for things like no handrails and peeling paint and some things that might be a little nitpicky. However, for most properties, these are also simple repairs. If there's a window that's broken, it's a simple repair. It shouldn't stop the sale. If it's a hand railing that's missing, it's a simple repair and an add, right? So I'm going to talk to you about, because if you're working with an agent, and first off, if you approve with the FHA loan, you have to work with an agent that can specialize and help agents get their offer accepted, because some agents on the other side may look at an FHA loan as a negative. They may look at it and say, you know what, they may not be as experienced in it, and they think that that's actually a negative. So I'm going to share with you some things that have helped me and have helped my clients get their offers accepted during the process of finding a property with an FHA loan. Outside of a few of the things that I just mentioned with health and safety, you know, the peeling paint, the broken glass, the hand railings, there are some things that take into consideration too. If your property is right next to a gas station or within a certain proximity of high tension power lines, that might be an issue. So you want to check with your lender on that and make sure that you're on the same page in your home search. You also can't be delinquent on any federal debt, student loans, back taxes, child support. Before we go into some strategies on getting your offer accepted, if you don't have an agent, whether it's me or someone else, you want to be able to get referred to an agent that can do this, as I mentioned. Very important, because not all agents work equally. So you want to make sure you get hooked up with an agent that's going to go the extra mile to help you get that offer accepted. First step is setting realistic expectations. It's really about looking at the market and understanding what properties are selling for. As an FHA buyer, you have to understand you will be going up against people that have higher down payments. So if you're going up against a property, on a property with another buyer or two, and they have 10%, 20%, 25% down, and you're at 3.5% down, the seller's going to be looking at those offers, and they get to choose which one they want to accept, right? So if you're at 3.5% down, what does that mean as an FHA buyer? Does that mean that you have no shot and no chance? Some agents may think so. I don't. I think that you definitely have a shot. We just have to keep that and be mindful of that. So you're 3.5% down. You're going up against a property, another buyer on a property that has a 25% down payment. Where do you need to be in order for you to be considered from that seller? That's a question that I actually ask my clients, depending on the market that we're in. You know, where would you, if you had a cash buyer and you had someone that's doing a low down payment, how much more does that low down payment buyer need to be at in order for you to consider that if you were the seller? Because that's the type of conversation you really need to start thinking about, the question you need to start thinking about. And usually it's not just a couple $1,000s. So if, as an FHA buyer, you may have to come to the table knowingly with more than a higher down payment buyer to make your offer more appealing. You also want to work with a quality lender, someone who can actually have your back, and an agent. If you can have an agent and a lender that can be reputable in the community that you're actually looking in, this is going to help you. They have the relationships already with hopefully those listing agents that they can vouch for you. They can say, hey, I know this person, and the lender pre-approved them. And even though they're an FHA buyer, they're a solid FHA buyer. And this deal is going to get to the finish line. You also want to be more convenient with your terms. So the price is just one element of the offer, right? The price, and we want to be aggressive if you're an FHA buyer. So how much intel can your real estate agent actually gather? This is a skill set, having an agent that can actually gather intel for you. So I feel I'm really good at gathering intel, and not all agents are created equal. How much intel can your agent get back to you so you guys can actually properly game plan and putting your offer in a good place to be considered? So they need to gather some intel for you. You need to make your offer attractive. And sometimes it's not just with the price, it's those other terms in the deal. How long until the closing? How much of a shorter time to the closing? It's not always about quickness and speed. Sometimes it's more length and how long that transaction can be, or how long the seller can stay in the property. Sometimes it's about assuming items in the property. Sometimes it's about covering the smoke certificate for the seller. There's a bunch of different things that can actually be helpful to the seller to say, you know what? I like this offer. This seems like it's going to be the easiest road to get to the closing. And that's really how you want to package your offer. You want to package your offer and not just throw it to the other side, but you want to have someone that actually sells your offer. And it's not just the price. Trust me when I tell you, in a competitive market, it's not just the price that matters. It's the relationships that matter. It's how your real estate agent is presenting your offer to the other side. It needs to be sold. It needs to be packaged up in a nice little bow and being presentable. I have another video on this channel on how to get your offer accepted that lists some strategies on getting your offer accepted. I'll throw it in the comment section, or the description rather. Make sure you guys take a look at that. Those things can help as well, in addition to this special FHA offer that you're putting on the table. So I don't want you guys to look at FHA as a bad thing. It's not. For some agents, it's just ingrained in them. They think FHA, the deal's going to fall apart. You can have very strong FHA buyers, especially if you're working with a quality lender. So don't look at it as a bad thing. Be proud and it's an accomplishment to get a pre-approval. So if it's an FHA pre-approval with 3.5% down, you can most certainly get into a property if you have the right agent, if you have the right tools, techniques, and strategies that they're working on your behalf with, okay? So congratulations on getting an FHA approval. Hopefully this video can shed some light to it and really bring you into the reality of the situation, where it may be a little bit more challenging. However, it's totally doable if you have the right people in your corner. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.